happen.
You just did.
Say
You
happen
have
by
others. You
design.
can look it up yourself.
You've seen it happen in the
Look in the
monkjack
mirror.
deer. We've seen it happen. We've seen it in ants.
Again,
We've seen it
look in the
multiple
mirror. Look
Yeah.
in the mirror is
You
not
know-
a proof of anything.
You
I'm
are
sorry.
evolution.
Are you saying
Now-
are you
Oh, and
translation
design.
don't happen?
I was designed.
No. I really want
Okay.
you to answer this. Are you really telling me that translocations do not happen? Are you really telling me that chromosome fusions don't happen?
No, I'm not telling you it
Okay,
happened.
then if they happen,
okay?
if they happen, right? Because we know they happen. We have a man right now
I'm telling
living in
you,
China.
It didn't
that-
happen the way you think it did, and the time frame, the paradigm is wrong.
Well, you're just throwing out stuff. You're not giving any evidence for anything. You're just throwing stuff out. I'm giving you actual
Are
evidence.
you familiar with entropy?
You're validated
Are you
with
familiar
evidence.
with
Go look-
entropy?
Oh,
Yes,
good
I-
God.
yes, I'm
Don't
familiar
even
with
try
entropy.
and
I'm sure
bring
that
up
you are not.
fucking entropy.
I guarantee you're not familiar with entropy. Because you
Things
want to go down this,
tend
be my
toward
guest. But what is
chaos.
entropy? What is entropy?
Things tend toward chaos over time.
No, it's not.
Things degrade over
You
time.
need to go back to college. You didn't go. Entropy is actually
You
the
go back
unusable
to
evidence in a
elementary
system.
school.
Literally, that's what entropy is. It's the unused energy in
And,
a system.
If
It's
you want to go
formulated
with
by S equals
insults,
M.
you can go with
Look
insults.
at
Okay.
S equals K
I can
ln
tell you,
omega,
you need to
which is
go
a very
back to the
simple
church.
thing for an ideal gas. Well, no. You asked me if I know about entropy. And by the way, I went to Naval Nuclear Power School. Okay, I actually supervise people how to operate nuclear power plants. I have a little bit of understanding of entropy. So when you ask me these questions, let me educate you, because you clearly have no idea what entropy actually is. Do you know what a Boltzmann constant is? Do you know what the ideal formula is for entropy?
Educate me.
Okay, then
No,
why are you
no, I don't
telling
know.
me? Why
I
are you
understand the
asking me if I know about
concept, though.
entropy if you don't? No,
Well,
you
I
don't.
understand the concept of it.
I don't think
Well,
you do.
then I don't. Congratulations. You've
Entropy
been-
has to do with the information required to describe the state of a system.
What
Okay.
do you, Steve? Ask him what's your
Yeah,
opinion on Occam's razor?
declining towards chaos.
How do you feel about Occam's razor?
That is not what entropy
Rice.
is. It has, chaos increases entropy, but the biggest factor in entropy is temperature, actually.
Yeah. Again, I
Yeah.
believe we live in a closed system, right? So I believe entropy affects us. We live in a closed system. It tends toward chaos.
Have you
and
been
it's
outside and
degrading.
you see a big ball of light in the sky? That's called the sun. We have an
Yes.
entropic system between the Earth and the sun. So if lies entropy goes down on the Earth, it goes up on the sun. So imagine you have you take sugar and you put it in water. What's going to happen? It's going to dissolve, right? Now you leave that in the sun, it evaporates. You're now going to have crystalline sugar form out of it, forming crystals. That is a higher entropic state, or a lower entropic state, because you have a higher complexity, because lower entropy has occurred localized, but the sun increased its entropy. And as long as the net entropy of the universe goes up based on the second law of thermodynamics, then it's okay to do that. Evolution works on the same principle. Localized entropy can be decreased. It's called ratcheting, where you can have higher complexity because we have an open relationship between the Earth and the sun. Now, if you want to refute that, give me some. You said you love science. You have not given me any science whatsoever. I've given you actual science because I've actually studied this stuff a long time ago. You have given me no science whatsoever. So why would you say you like science if you're not willing to actually go learn the actual science?
You ready to tap out, Rice? It's okay.
No, I don't mind. I mean, I'm not surprised by the point you guys are making or anything. I mean, at this point, I came as a replacement. So, I mean,
yeah, sure.
Look, I told you.
I get that.
Sure.
I'm not trying to beat up on you. I really want you to learn this stuff. But I know
No,
the science a little bit.
Again,
Chris knows the Bible way better than I could ever hope to. So if you need biblical stuff, go to him.
Well,
Yeah,
no, I don't need nobody to explain
Rice.
to me the Bible.
Chris was going to
Surely not an unbeliever.
let Chris jump in real quick. Rice, go ahead, Chris.
Sure.
Rice, you said, was Tiamat's body used to split the waters?
Again, I think it was the net. That is a reference to the firmament.
So I'm going to read to you from Tablet 4, lines 138, lines 140. and 42. One half of her he established as a covering for heaven. He fixed a bolt, he stationed watchmen, and bade them not to let her waters come forth. He passed through the heavens, he surveyed the regions, and over against the deep he set the of Nidumid. So, I'm curious as to how you're going to interpret, and he bade them not to let her waters come forth after he split her in half to create the heavens to stop the waters from coming forth using her body.
No, okay, yeah, it's all good. Then he used her body to make the firmament. Seems legit. I mean, I was maybe wrong. I'm not a professional by any means.
Then why were you saying that wasn't the case? It's clear you haven't read.
Well, because I thought it was the net. I thought it was the net.
The net was just one of many.
If it's the body,
it's okay. The net was one of many tools used to kill her and trap her, not used to split her and to then used in creation. If you want to read the whole thing, this is a little quite a bit outdated now, but Leonard W. King's The Enema Elish, 2 volumes in 1. You can get it on Amazon for like $20. And since there were other people wondering for my sources, another one that's a little outdated, but it's okay, History of Greek Religion and Stories from Ancient Canaan, all great introductory work. But yeah, you were adamantly wrong about that. But
yeah, it's okay.
Saying
I mean,
that you know
I admit it.
It's okay. But you keep saying that you know these things, and then telling me that I was wrong.
Well, I don't know. I know them. I know those things to the best of my ability. I mean, gave me the text here. I say, okay, it's all good. I'll change my belief. No problem with that.
So as we come to a little bit of a close, I think we're getting to a wrapping up point. People are wanting to know what your stance on razor is. Do you abide by Occam's razor?
They want to know what?
They want to know how you feel about Occam.
Sorry, your mic is cutting.
Occam's razor?
What do you feel about Occam's razor? Do you know what Occam's razor is? Law of parsimony. Some people call it law of parsimony. It's actually parsimony, but never heard of it? You don't multiply your axioms more than what you need, and basically 2 competing hypotheses of equal explanatory and predictive power, you take the one with the least amount of assumptions.
Yes.
If somebody who doesn't like science and you don't know Occam's razor, is really kind of disturbing. Do you know Kyle's razor?
I have no problem with that. Obviously, the one with the less assumption. Yeah, obviously the one with the less assumption is going to be the best one. Yes, I don't.
Have you heard of Kyle's razor though?
The what?
Kyle's razor.
The Arkham razor? Yes.
Kyle's razor.
No, I mean no.
Okay.
What's that? Is that an inside joke with Kyle? I mean.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's a scientific. It's on its way to becoming scientific fact.
Yeah, he's going to get published here soon.
Nice.
I'm gonna get a Nobel
Nice.
a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah,
let's switch over to Super Chat, Steve. We'll get those knocked out, and then let these guys plug their channels, and we'll. It was kind of hectic. I appreciate you both staying on and coming on. Right, Chris, we'll get you back here when you can be centered around a more Bible-oriented topic the entire time, and it's not as all over the place and crazy. Sometimes we just have to jump in the deep end and swim. So that's what we did tonight.
That's totally fine. Enjoyed myself, so.
Good deal.
Yeah, welcome to NonSequitur, Chris. Okay. Yeah. He's like, I'm never coming back.
This is part of our charm.
This is the trial by fire. Down wheel, 20 Canadian. Seeing as Mr. D is Mr. ID is a no-show, can someone please get an egg, some TP, and do a demo? We might have to do that one of these days. Can Steve make a video on that? Can they actually show Mr. Intelligence Design's experiment? Because that'd be actually really cool. I mean, I understand his experiment. Well, I don't understand his experiment. I know how he did it. experiment. But yeah, that'd be actually pretty cool. Steven Stein, $2. Logic scale: agnostic, Christian, theist, atheist. Or wait a minute. Agnostic is greater than Christian. Christian is greater than theist. Theist is greater than atheist. I wouldn't have it in that order, I don't think. But agnostic, atheist, theist, Christian. I think that's the way I'd kind of put it. But Brian Stevens, $2. Let's buy him a ticket if he pays double if he's wrong. Yeah. So, would you go into outer space and see if the Earth was flat, Bryce? Would you do it if somebody paid for it?
Yeah. As I said, if we go with the if and you buy me a way up, I'll go. I don't mind. Put me in a rocket.
And how embarrassed would you be to find out that it's not flat?
Oh, not that much, to be honest. I mean,
Really?
I'm willing to go back on my position if showed wrong. I'm an humble man.
I kind of respect that. I would be embarrassed to be a flat earther. I honestly would. But the Athens 619, $5. Perspective is the answer. Res rhetoric. Trigger intensifies. Res didn't get triggered, did he?
Yeah.
He really didn't get triggered. Damn. Cajun
I mean, you
crustacean,
can bring me
$5.
back anytime.
Sure. Oh, no, I plan to have more conversations when it comes to the evolution thing with some other people. Say perspective again. Say perspective again. I dare you. I double dog dare you, you motherfucker or mother flurfer. Say perspective one more time, Pulp Flurfer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's from
Perspective.
That's Razor Wotan edition.
Yeah. Jamie made a good video on that.
Mm-hmm.
Trent Benefield, $10. Is the sun too close? If you know the dimensions, distance, and temperature of the sun, can we measure the thermal radiation we would receive? I bet we won't get around 1 kilowatt per meter squared. Yeah, actually we can. The luminosity, intensity, obviously the field intensity you can measure, right? How many kilowatts per meter squared you're measured. We also can measure the neutrinos from the sun, and they've actually done that in the last couple of years and determined that the amount of neutrinos coming from the sun that used to be missing is exactly what it would be for protactions and other types of cycles in the sun. So the fact that we know the sun is a fusion reactor, we know it produces neutrinos because of that, and we can detect those neutrinos. We know that the sun is around 93 million miles away, because if it was any closer, we would be toast. Well, much closer. So, yeah, we can definitely use all this physics and math to determine that the sun is definitely 93 million miles away and much, much larger than the Earth. Sofrito, $10. It is not a contradiction that Sigma Octantis is only 5 degrees away from the North Pole star, yet the round model says that they should be more than greater than 95 degrees and not in any way not seen in reality. What does he mean by Sigma Octantis is only 5 degrees away from the North Pole star? Sigma Octantis is the South Pole star.
I don't know.
I don't know what you mean by that. I think he means only 5 degrees off of the South Pole, because it's not the North Pole. If you look directly up, then you're going to have the North Star, which is less than 1 degree off. But the Sigma Octantis is a couple degrees off of the North Pole. Is it correct? Which means the South Pole, right?
I think so.
We'll go with that. Brian Stevens, $2. I disagree, but sure, quote of the night. I disagree. But sure.
Let's agree to disagree, my friend.
Yeah, man, we got a lot of super chats. Thank you all, guys. Magic Pagan, £5. Suggestion: NonSequitur round Earth proof. We've worldwide volunteers right here. Stephen Red will sort the mathematics. I do the mathematics to Reds. I don't do a lot with the whole trig geometry stuff. He does. I'm probably a little bit better maybe at basic calc. I don't know if he knows basic calc too well. He's learning it. But I don't do advanced calc, just basic. Stephen Bauman, $5. Ask him if Santa parks his sleigh on a mountain.
Does he? Bryce?
Okay.
North Pole.
I believe there's a North Pole, and I found a couple of maps, including a Mercator projection, where it's written that there's pygmies living on one of the 4 islands at the North Pole. So the more and the more I look into this, the more more I believe
there is
some actual pygmies at the North Pole. So
okay.
yeah.
Are you telling me?
The North Pole with the pygmies.
Are you telling me that there is a possibility that Santa Claus might exist?